Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Alex QQ channel. I'm going to give you a story on how my players, Super Mario 64 style, tossed a Hydra at the king. So, the situation starts out with the bard, naturally, Dinstain, making fun of the king, and the king was not happy. The king did not like this actually, and the king was like, "Dinstain, you made fun of me. You said I was short. You said I was smelly, and it, 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 you said I wasn't cool and awesome like all the other people say I am." And then Dinstain's like, yeah, and then Dinstain was forced out because the guards were gonna kill him. But afterward, Dinstain meets the party. They do a bunch of cool stuff. They get a potion of Storm Giant Strength, not relevant whatsoever, and they end up back with the king after a few series, after a loss, after them losing against someone and being sold to a bounty hunter who then hands them over to the king. They are forced to fight a Hydra in a coliseum. And a bunch of people are watching. Man, very tricky word. And one of the people watching were a few people that I've encountered, such as a rival bard who slapped his ass, pointing at Dinstain and laughing, and an old enemy of theirs who was also sitting in the back. Well, not old enemy in the sense of like they're not enemies anymore, but they're still enemies. It's just that they haven't seen each other in a while. It was a bit of a cool little moment, and I was thinking this Hydra might have been a little too much. I was like hoping they'd beat the Hydra. Maybe it won't be too rough, but no, Rope Trick kind of confirmed them a bit of a W in the sense that they kind of popped in and out, shoot arrows, cast spell, pop back in. They do that and they kill the Hydra. I'm like, okay, they did that, but they're still captured. So how are they gonna get out of here? I was like, I didn't know how they're gonna get out. I was like, maybe yeah, like if they said, oh, we're gonna just run out. I'm like, okay, the door's locked. You do it. I was just gonna run with it. But instead of something normal like that, I was like, okay, well, they're gonna do something different. So one of the players is like, yo, we got that potion of great storm giant strength, right? I'm like, yeah. Okay, we dump it in this NPC's throat and tell him to chuck. Well, there's an NPC there. That by the way, there's an NPC there. He's not that important to the story other than the fact that he does the tossing. They kind of just gave the NPC a potion, and they told him, so here's what you do, Albie. You get the Hydra by the tail. You spin around and around, saying so long, Bowser, and you chuck the Hydra toward the king. Then the NPC Albie did that. Chucked it, he's like, yo, bro. He chucks it and it hits the king, and the king's like, oh, and he kind of gets knocked over and he gets crushed. Not dead. I told him that he wasn't dead. Mostly because the king was like, eventually he was able to get out, but before that happens, the bard casts fly on the NPC, and the NPC carries him off. Normally the NPC isn't strong enough to carry everyone, but Storm Giant Strength is like 29, so I'm like, yeah, whatever, you do that. And then they go off in a merrily way, and that's how they did this. That's how they did such a feat. Now, I'd like to give thanks to my players. I won't refer to them by name, but I'll at least say what the character names are. So Dinstain the Bard, he's the one that did all this mad sense with the king. And anyway, Halt, he was the Gloomstalker Ranger. He casted Rope Trick, and he also was the one that suggested the idea of making the Bowser toss in the first place, so props to him. And also a little bit of a shout out towards Sophia and Gary. During the fight, they casted Fireball and Lightning Bolt, chopping off their heads. So yeah, the encounter definitely would have gone sour anyway if they didn't do that. So thanks for you guys, and thanks you for the folks, and hopefully I can see you guys next time.